What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CU4 YouTube channel, where Carlisle United miss out on the opportunity to go top of the National League as they draw away at Yeovil. It finished 1-1 at Hush Park in, a fair result in the end, really. Both sides were very average in the game, to be fair. It wasn't the most thrilling game of football anyone's ever going to watch. But I thought credit to Yeovil. I thought their players were tireless and, they covered every single corner of the pitch. I thought Carlisle were okay. They weren't bad, but they weren't good. But obviously disappointing not to take that opportunity to go top of the league. Obviously there's games in hand and everything, but if we had scored late on there, then we would have went top of the National League. But as I say, Yeovil defended well. Yeovil really committed bodies to the cause today. I thought defensively they were fantastic in that area. Every time Chris Clark or Regan Linney got the ball, there was 4 or 5 Yeovil defenders closing them down. And, it worked for them. And really in the game, there was 2 moments, both the goals. There was a few half chances for both teams, but no team really looked as if they had a winner in them, even though it was a very end-to-end game in that last 10/17 minutes with the added time. But no, as I say, fair result. In a game where I thought Chris Clark started the game really well on the front foot. He had a couple of opportunities early on. He just looks a class above, doesn't he, Chris Clark? He looks really active on the ball. His close touch is fantastic. His just ability as a footballer is clearly there. And, I think when he's 100% match fit, he's going to be a fantastic player for Carlisle. But there was a great play from Chris Clark, and there was a heavy touch from Josh Williams, who I thought had another decent game, to be fair. But he took a heavy touch, but his pace just gets him out of that situation, and he uses his pace to get into the space, and the ball's played into Regan Linney, who unfortunately slips, meaning that opportunity comes to nothing. And there was an absolutely lovely turn from Chris Clark, takes it down, turns his defender, has a curling effort which just goes wide of the top corner. And again, it's Chris Clark. He just finds himself in these pockets of space, doesn't he? He's really good at just picking the ball up in that space, turning it into an attack position. It was a good effort from him, but just wide. And as I say, sort of half chances were the story of the game, and Chris Clark had 2 or 3 very early doors, and then a corner comes in from Yeovil in the 15th minute. And no idea what's happened, to be fair. It looks like Feeney's headed it against their player Campbell, and it went into the back of the net. Their player had no idea what was going on, so I'm not sure if Feeney's sort of just headed it into his own net, or it's headed by Feeney onto their player, back onto Feeney and in the back of the net. It was a bit of a mess. It was a bit of a what's just happened there type of goal. And as I say, their player didn't even know what had happened. So that's says it all, doesn't it? But Carlisle found themselves 1-0 down, 15 minutes in, so plenty of time to get back in the game. But as I say, I thought Yeovil covered the pitch really well. They didn't let up a blade of grass in that game. Every time Carlisle took the ball down or got an opportunity, there was 2-3 men around the Carlisle player. And one of the commentators was saying that one of Yeovil's players was playing for Billericay last week, and he's made the step up and playing against the top side in the National League today. So fair play to him. And yeah, I just thought Yeovil just defended really well and closed out the game well from their perspective. And I've got to say, Morgan Feeney, for me, gets a bit lucky. It looks like he pulls their lad to the floor. I'm not sure if it was inside the box or just outside of it, but it looked a foul to me. But the referee says play on, and then there's an opportunity for Georgie Kelly at the end of the first half. He's arriving late to it. It's one of them where you're sort of going for the tackle, but you're just putting your boots through it at the same time, and he gets the shot off, but it's an easy save for the goalkeeper. Again, just a game of half chances, really. And then it was coming into the second half. I thought Yeovil started the second half the better. I thought Yeovil were the better side in the second half for the majority of the game, to be fair. And then all of a sudden, Regan Linney with some brilliant plays in Harvey McAdam off the bench for the second game in a row with a brilliant finish from him. Bends it into the top corner. Absolutely fantastic finish from Harvey McAdam. I mean, if he's going to keep doing that from midfield, absolutely get him in the side. Brilliant finish from him. Really good work from Carlisle. And really, that was sort of the moment of the game. Feeney had his with the own goal, and then McAdam had Carlisle's with the brilliant effort from him. Then Regan finds himself at sort of a 3v3 situation, similar to the Forest Green one where he put it in, but unfortunately this one, the defender slows him down well and the goalkeeper gets down well to save. And Carlisle felt up for it after that goal. That bit of momentum was in Carlisle's favour. And then I'm not even going to do this justice, you're going to have to see replay of this, but the ball falls to Regan Linney, and what a strike from Linney. The connection on it is actually unbelievable, and he just whistles past the crossbar. If it's just an inch lower, it's probably goal of the season. It was that good. Such a clean strike from Linney, but unfortunately for Carlisle, just wide of the post. The Yeovil come close. Ball comes in to Campbell, who just snatches it and puts it over the bar. Maybe just came into him a little bit too fast. Wasn't expecting the ball into him. And then there was another good chance for Yeovil from the corner. I think Breeze actually commits and misses the ball, and Jarvis has just headed it over the bar. Again, probably not expecting to have the contact from the header. You're probably expecting Breeze to win it. It's a bit of a shock when Breeze doesn't get on the end of it. But overall, there was again a couple of half chances, as I keep saying, in that sort of last 5 to 10 minutes of the game, but nothing really troubling each goalkeeper, and the points were shared, and deservedly so, to be fair. As I say, I don't think Carlisle were brilliant, I don't think Carlisle were bad either. I just thought Yeovil had the answer to Carlisle today, and deserve a point from that. But obviously disappointed from a Carlisle perspective, having that opportunity to go top of the league tonight. But we do stay in third position, looking very healthy in the table, as we now turn our focus to what's going to be a massive week for Carlisle as we take on Reading in the FA Cup on Saturday before welcoming Halifax Town to Brunton Park, and then we take the trip down to Southend in what will be 2 massive league games and a cup game that can be there to be won. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Well done, and a massive respect to anyone making that trip down to Yeovil, nearly 11 hours. So safe travels back to Cumbria for all of you guys. Yeah, but what did you think of the game? Let me know in the comments down below. But for now, I've been CBO4, and I'll see you in the next one.